Hello, Hankin. How are you? All right, let's get to full me. Hello, hello. Let me know if you can hear me. It's saying my mic is fine. Well, it says I ran them. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Please tell me. Yes, no. All right, cool. That's all I need to know. Yep. Time to celebrate for sure, man. It's been quite a quite a day, 2 days, whatever you want to call it. It's been a crazy time. Oh, good. Volume seems good. Okay. Hey, what's up, Zach? Good to see you, man. Thanks for coming in. Hey, Erwin, what's up? What's up? Thanks for popping in, everybody. Yeah, it's quite a day. 2 days, as it were. Long stream last night with Wade, doing some sculpting with him and everybody else that was on the stream, meeting some cool people, and today we're back on our Frieren stuff, getting back to normal. But yeah, man, the Kickstarter being successful is peak for today, for sure. What's dumb? Did I say something was dumb? Thanks, Zach. You didn't owe it to me, but I appreciate it. I'm glad you're here for sure. But yeah, no, this was it's been a crazy day. I'm a little delirious. Was up till 4 in the morning last night on the stream, then slept a little bit. And yeah, got back up on stream again around 7:30 to write out the end of the campaign, and it was successful, and now we can just bask in the glow and be happy that we're going to get these figures. So with that, what I think I'm going to do is just jump right into it. So for those of you who have not been here, let's see, felt like it was necessary. Yeah, I grabbed a few hours on the couch after I didn't get to stop and sleep. I had to take my kid and his friends to see the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. And I had a good time. It was fun, but it just means that I've been non-stop. So yeah, so let's get going on a Frieren. Today what I want to do is work on her face, because most of the costume details and stuff, for those of you who haven't been here, are pretty much there. Mostly blocked in. Have a few things I want to adjust just from looking at the reference. I need to adjust this epaulet on her capelet a little bit. But yeah, I haven't really worked on the face yet, so I definitely want to get going on that. How is everyone doing today, by the way? I know everyone is pretty excited. Thanks, Hankin. I appreciate it. Thanks, Erwin. I got some different reference. I'm not sure where I'm going to start tonight, but I'm going to be on for about 2 hours just hanging out, noodling the face. I don't know if y'all have seen the memes of her. I know some of you, I know Erwin has seen it, but the memes of that one guy that drew her and had real trouble drawing the underside of the chin. What I thought was funny in this reference shot that I got here they do have kind of an upshot, and it still is like you don't see underneath her face at all. Like they extend the chin down even though she's looking up. Um, but yeah, it is pretty funny that even this model sheet right here doesn't even address the issue that that poor guy was trying to take care of. But another thing, it's mentioned in the description, but this is technically my first affiliate stream. So I'm running ads, going to do it on the hour. It'll be a 3-minute break. I already ran a first 3 minutes of ads. So if you escaped that, congratulations. And in about an hour, we'll get another little 3-minute ad break. So yeah, let's pop into it. Feel free to ask questions either about the software, me, modeling in general. Let's get off of that color. I'm an open book. Yeah, hey, sheesh. Thanks, Zach. Yeah, no. And honestly, as far as getting affiliate, thanks definitely to everyone that has popped in to stream or has shared my live notifications. Folks that popped in on the stream with Wade. This past month has been really, really crazy. I started streaming on a whim. Zach kind of knows what's up with that. I jumped onto Twitch to follow a really cool creator that I like. He is a mod for her. Her name's Sleebun. Really sweet lady, runs a cat rescue. And yeah, it kind of inspired me to finally get up off my ass and try this. As well as Wade, the creator of Odious. I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to do this. And he's like, do it, be consistent, get on it. You know, I've had a lot of really cool people inspire me and be very supportive, and was able to quickly get to affiliate. So it's, you know, I don't know where to go from here, but I just kind of want to create a little fun artist community, maybe make a little extra money on the side. The comfort of knowing that I'm affiliate is nice. It's an early goal met. Let's see. When did you start your modeling career? Do you ever get asked to shave the facial hair from jobs? No, I don't. My wife asks me to shave sometimes, but she also is kind and lets me keep it because she knows I like it. Most of the time. I did shave it for Halloween because my kid wanted to do a particular family costume, and I didn't want the facial hair for that. So I just decided to shave for a bit, but it grows fast. So we're back to the handlebars. Hey Josh, what's up? Yep, we have reached ad status, that's for sure, yeah. So it sounds like you did not escape the ads. But I'll only be running them on the hour, so yeah. Yeah, you know, I do shave it more often than you'd think, just because there's occasions that need it, and it grows back really fast. So that's why I don't really mind shaving too often. How's everybody's day going? What's everyone been doing on their Saturday? I already kind of said what I've been up to. I know some of you guys were with us in the morning. What about you, Zach? What were you up to today? Just chilling? Did you work today? Yeah, get the ad rev. Let's see, if anyone has an issue with ads, they're yeah. You know what? Kind of. All right, let me see if I can get closer here. So she's got a really cool eye shape. You know, typical anime eye, but she has like a really cool eyelash going. Her lid's very high, even with her eye open. And then she's got this interesting little kind of leaf-like eyebrow. Work today. Kind of had a rough start almost, an hour late. Oh man, that's a bummer, man. But after that, cool. Cool. Well, I'm glad things have improved. That's for sure. Let's see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this reference translucent, and the eye size is already pretty close. I might adjust it eventually, but right now I kind of want to just line it up and get the basic shape in there, which is not too far off. Then see if I can put some of those other elements and divide up the subdivisions. I should say, don't you know who I am? I sculpted Odious. Yeah, no, it's kind of funny. I've had this conversation with Wade, and oh, you forgot to set your alarm. Yeah, that's always the worst, man. Hey, but get that holiday pay, man. Or get that holiday money at least, you know. Like I was saying, I definitely, especially during the first campaign, kind of didn't want to be perceived, at least at first. I don't mind. I can handle being kind of in front of a crowd, but I'm really not one to enjoy too much attention. Which is funny because I was a theater kid, so it sounds kind of antithetical to that, but I just don't like it, don't need it. I enjoy or can handle some recognition, that's nice, but I don't need a lot of attention. So, but you know, as things got closer with that first Odious campaign, I decided to say, you know what, I'm really proud of this thing that we've produced, and I, you know, want to be openly proud of it, and I'd like to be not necessarily recognized, but yes, I'd like to be tied to it, just because there's a lot of cool people that are all involved. I kind of want to get to know them, get to know the community, and it's hard to do when you live in the shadows. And I've lived in the shadows in the figure world for long enough, you know, and, you know, doing stuff for Hasbro and Mattel and Diamond under a studio name is great, but with that, you know, nobody knows who the heck I am, which generally is fine. I don't mind that. But with this being so close to it, being a good friend, it's nice to kind of be out there in the open, and also it also allows me to be openly supportive too, in ways that I can't really be if I'm just like, no, don't look at me, don't look over here. Next, I'll be wearing V-necks. You know, I have a few V-necks, so it's not a next thing. It's a reality sometimes. Let's see, Screaming Werewolf head looked incredible. Knocked that out pretty quick. Yeah, man. What's funny is like I can work pretty fast, but generally, like, a head, in my opinion, is something that takes like at least 2 days to really nail down, but 2 8-hour periods, maybe 3, depending on the level of detail. But with both wolf heads, werewolf heads, I was just, you know, I was on stream with folks, got really zen with it. I think I was talking to Hankin about that, and yeah, it just kind of flowed. Everybody chatting in the background, and the hype of the campaign and getting closer and closer to that dollar amount made it really easy to just kind of lock in and have a good time. So that's kind of how that cranked out. I thought it was really funny too, because everyone was chatting in the background, and I was just kind of quietly chiming in and working on the head, and all of a sudden everyone's like, "What? Where did that werewolf come from?" Because, you know, they were all locked into their own conversations. Yeah, thanks. This is not going to be so much because I'm messing with this wireframe here. A lot of this is really noodly very slight movements. So this won't go as fast. I'll be happy if we get kind of close by the end of stream today. And I still don't know what I want to do with the eye. So I talked about this in previous streams, but especially with statues and anime stuff, there's this graphic element to things that ball chin, where lots of eyes and stuff are flattened and everything is really graphic, and I don't know if I want to really have a subtle space for the eye there, or if I want to put like an actual eyeball and have a good transition that's very noticeable, eyeball to from face, or from eyelid to eyeball. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of try to feel it out as we go. I might try both in the end just to see what I think and how I feel about it, because overall it's just the aesthetic that I want to try to get. And I don't really feel like I need to commit just yet. But the things I do need to commit to are just kind of like the basic shapes and making sure all that stuff is nailed in. But yeah, for anybody, I know some of you guys saw it, but here I'll pop up the wolf head again, just real quick, just for funsies. I was able to get, a lot farther this morning than I did last night. I kind of got it basically roughed in, but now I got kind of the flow of the fur going. Some more features in there. Now I just got to do the noodly task of getting the really, really, really nice fine details locked in, so that way it matches the other head sculpt, which is this guy. So yeah, let's put two heads side by side just to see them together. So yeah, kind of fun. There'll be some cool heads. Really like the classic werewolf head. Bobo's design just nailed it. It was so fun. It was really fun to sculpt and just really fun to, again, work with Bobo's art, because I love his illustration. And then this one, same, it's similar as far as the feel of it, but there's a lot more volume that I had to kind of figure out, because I only get those front shots. So I kind of had to do some guesswork, but so far I think I like where it is, and Wade doesn't seem to have any complaints. So yeah, there might be some changes as we look at it, but essentially this is where we're at. So yeah, I have talked in the past, or asked the question in the past, but I don't think any of you guys were here. Has anybody watched Frieren or is familiar with the show? Really great series. I love it so much. I'm gonna actually start rewatching it really soon. Yeah, isn't it a really cool design, Zach? Check out, let me see, I'll put his name. Oh, there we go, okay. Hope you didn't lose my audio for a second. But let's see. Bobo, great illustrator. Erwin in the chat is also an amazing illustrator. I have one of his amazing pieces was angering Wade today. Here, I'll pop back into full. This piece right here. Yep. Wade was jealous. He was angry at me when I was showing this off on the stream last night. So thanks, Erwin. That showed up real quick. Really cool. Really excited to have some of your art. Let's see. Let's find Bobo. So if anybody doesn't know who Bobo is, there's his IG. Check him out. Variati, great illustrator. Has done all the illustration work for, or not all of it, but a lot of the illustration work for the Odious figure. And I know, Zach, you looked at the Kickstarter a little bit. Here is the original figure. Is this it? Hold on. Let me see. Here's one. I have a bunch of them, so I don't know which one I want to grab. Again, I'll go full screen for a second. Today's going to be a little loopy because it's one I've been on all day. Yep, here's the original figure. And we got the cowboy and the army soldier Odious coming. And the Ronin and the Inuit as well. Going to be on Big Bad Toy Store. So we got a lot of Odious figures coming. But this is where it all started. And yeah, like I said, really proud, really happy to be part of this whole thing. Hard to express. It was just kind of on a whim. People in chat kept saying, on Wade's chat, Unparalleled Universe, everywhere, you know, when are you going to do a figure? When are you going to do a figure? And I was like, if you want to make one, I'll help you. It was just kind of like, hey, you know, we can do that. That would be fun. And here we are. How many years later? Gonna have 5 figures under our belt once this is all done in another year when it's all manufactured. And hopefully a ton more. So yeah, it's been crazy times. All right, let me drop in a couple spheres just to see what this looks like with some eyeballs in there. Split unmasked. Wait, what happened there? Oh. There we go. That is weird. Okay, I'm going to delete this. Something weird happened with the body there. Let's see. All right, back. I'm going to try that again. Okay. Let me look at chat real quick. That is, yeah, that is haunting. Yes. Yeah, that's the fun, yet not fun thing about 3D stuff early on, is it just looks really weird, and sometimes it's really hard to like help people understand that things just kind of look ugly at the start. And that's something I like to make real clear for folks. You know, in the beginnings, especially, and you know, Frieren, you might be able to attest to this. I know illustration's a little bit different, but it's okay for things to like not look great, right? When you're beginning, in the beginning stages, you're just trying to feel stuff out. There we go. The eyes and the body separated properly this time. That was really weird. But it's okay, you know, for things to look a little jank at first. Yeah, it's cool watching all that get sculpted last night. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the ear detail. Yeah, you know, it's one of those things where I was just kind of messing around. I didn't really have like a set idea of how I wanted to do it. Trial and error is part of the process. Exactly. I didn't really have a set idea of how I wanted to tackle that werewolf. I didn't really know where I wanted to go with it, which is kind of funny because it was the one that I was a little bit more worried about, just because that front shot leaves so much to be interpreted, which, you know, could be good, could be bad. But I, you know, was a little nervous going into it without a plan. But I decided to have fun with it, and we got there. And I agree. I'm happy with it so far. It's looking good. Still got a bit to go, but it's nice to hear that people are digging it so far. And it was kind of funny. I think Inhaled Farts, who is someone on YouTube and Instagram, for those of you who don't know why I'm saying the name Inhaled Farts, but he gave me some notes on my post of the work in progress on Instagram, and I just kind of had to laugh because it's like, I mean, sure, it's a work in progress, so there's some stuff that's kind of off, but also just the fact that I would take notes from anybody at this point other than Wade is kind of funny. And that leads into kind of an interesting thing about notes. Who, you know, Erwin, you can probably attest to. He used AI for his Beast Wars. Yeah, exactly. But you know, especially in the early days of any project, or like even just all the way through, like if you're doing something for a client, you know, they're the ones that matter most as far as if they're happy, then you're good. And that even means like going against the grain, unless something's like truly egregious, you know, that you're like, ooh, this isn't going to work, or it's not going to function, or it just, there's some things about it that just really don't look right that I need to let you know it would be better not to go down that route. But if the client wants something to look a certain way, then it's your job to meet that expectation. And for me, especially as, you know, making toys, I have to separate myself from the work a lot. That's why Odious was kind of cool, because I felt like I didn't have to do that as much, since I was, you know, buddies with Wade, and we kind of had an understanding of the character, you know, through him kind of letting me know what's going on. But yeah, for the most part, I just try to not worry so much about that kind of stuff. Let the client be my guide in that sense, and then I just try to give them the best version of the thing that they're asking for. Let's see. I think we decided the jaw will end up being hinged for sure. I don't know exactly how I want to tackle that hinge yet, engineering wise. I'm going to just focus on getting the sculpt done first before I worry about the engineering, because I can just make adjustments with that at that point. Like I might lay in some stuff just to be safe, so I don't have to like redo too much. But I really want it to look cool and get as close to the art as possible first. I really like to get that going and have the function serve the art as much as possible first, before I start to throw in any complicated engineering. Which, you know, which is kind of how I tackled the whole figure. So I want to, you know, continue that path. Let's see. It's weird. Let's see. Like a weird under the chin Frieren shot. Yeah. Let's see. This is looking better. There was a bunch of stuff with the jaw that I didn't like, and I think it's looking much better now. Let's see. All right, I'm going to head out. I have to wind down shortly. Hope you have a great... Thank you very much, Zach. I appreciate you very much coming in. I'm sure I'll see you in Sleeves streams this week. Have a great one. Get some rest. And yeah, one of the best mods I know in town. Have a good night, man. Let's see. Yours is looking human. We go. Thank you. Let's see, Erwin. Yeah, only notes from clients matter. Unsolicited critiques from everyone else is mere suggestion. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, it's nice. Some people have some, a good eye, and it's not bad to hear what people have to say, but some people need to remember that opinion is just opinion. Even my own opinion in a lot of stuff is just that when I'm working on a piece. Mine is a little bit more of an educated opinion depending on the subject matter, but it's still about coming to an understanding with said client. All right, let's see. I might throw some creases up here just to get a little bit of a sharpness where this lid is going to be. So I can see what that's going to look like. There we go. No notes for either of us, guys. Thank you, Josh. I appreciate it. No, yeah. I mean, that's one of the fun things about how well we have worked together is, he knows what he wants, and for the most part is able to express it well. I rarely have to double check and make sure. And I kind of know what right questions to ask if I need to, if he doesn't give me a note. And also a lot of times, especially at this point, but even early on, I would give him work in progress shots and say, along the way with those of here's the whips, but also I am going to do this, this, and this next. And usually that was just kind of in anticipation of what he might want. And a lot of times he was like, yep, sounds good to me. And then maybe interject another thing, or he'd be like, you're on it, you got it. So we have a good synchronicity, I think. Whoa. Why am I doing that? Which has been very good, I think, for both of us. It makes it easy. Sometimes if things are crazy busy for either of us, if say I'm falling behind because of life, or same for him, we easily catch up and are on the same page. So yeah, it's been good working on Odious and working with Wade for sure. Let's see, do you present multiple roughs or work through the one sculpt? I usually just work through one sculpt. I try not to have multiple different things going on, but I do like to give work in progress. So that's kind of in lieu of multiples to choose from, especially if you have a good design to start with. Then I don't really need to do a bunch of different versions of anything. So I can just get to a certain point where I'm like, okay, let's check in and see if things are on track and see if I'm interpreting this design right or correct as the client may think. And then there you go. But at the studio, it's literally that sometimes there's work in progress depending on what the client has worked out, but often it's take to practically finish or to complete finish and give first looks and then notes. So usually a full first version of the figure, not multiple versions, just like this is it, and 2 rounds of revisions, hopefully less, sometimes less. Also, for those of you guys who are new to Twitch, or haven't been on a long time, there's a lot of little features here. There's channel points, which you might see. There's a little orb, and you earn those by just like talking and chatting and hanging out, and then you can spend them on stuff. I don't really have any of that set up yet, but I'll probably have some fun things to interact with in the future, both with me and just with everybody. And also, if you do decide to sub, if you're that generous and gracious, you don't have to worry about ads, which is nice. But yeah, that is like purely out of the kindness of your heart, and if it's something that you want to do, I am here no matter what. And if for some reason somebody does sub, my plan is to use any of that revenue. If it gets, to a good amount, then I can, upgrade space, upgrade equipment. And there you go. Hey, thanks for the follow, Erwin. I appreciate it. That is a sound that I like to hear. Following is great. Following is an easy thing to do. And what's great about following is, doesn't cost you anything, and also lets you know when I am on. You can hit the bell notification, and I try to put as many notifications out there, especially since my channel is pretty new. But if you have that bell turned on, then Twitch will notify you that I am streaming. Let's see. All right, let's see. There's some other questions. Let's see. What is the difference between the red and green on the face? Those are just poly groups, polygonal groups. Some of it was done by me specifically, so it was easy to kind of like target particular areas when I was creating stuff. Some of it happens naturally, like I was creating edge loops and stuff inside this ear and doing more internal work, and every time I did that, it created a new poly group. Helps with masking, so if I wanted to just work on this inner ear, I can mask everything around it except for this particular poly group, which, as you can see, this poly group, for whatever reason, happens to share the center and inner workings of the eye. Center of the head and inner workings of the eye. But I usually only have that around on the first bits of a project, because after a while it doesn't matter too much. Yeah, let's see. Other questions. Let's see. What works out better, sub or watching ads? I don't know. I think that's something that I still need to look into. I think subs, I do get a bigger cut. But it does say right now that I get 55% of the ad revenue, something like that, with how I have it set up. What is that ad revenue? I don't think it's a ton, but that's okay. As far as subs go, still need to look into it. I've heard different amounts getting pulled. I've heard around 50. I've heard Twitch pulling like 70 something. But it is a larger chunk of money, I think, comparatively to ads. So even though Twitch, I think, takes more from subscriptions, I think I end up getting a little bit more money. But yeah, and then subscriptions are monthly, and no ads is one of the perks. If I start getting any subs, I'd probably try to come up with some other cool things for subs to make it more worthwhile. Because if you're going to be giving your money in such a generous way, you know, I don't want it to feel like it's for nothing. But yeah, you know, this is a journey. Right now, it's an ability that I have thanks to all you folks who have come into my stream and helped get my numbers to where it needed to be. But right now we're on a slow grind where I just want to create some cool art, hang out with folks, inspire people to make, you know, their own art, and yeah. There we go. Let's see. Indeed, it notified you. Good. Let's see. I suppose it depends on how much you end up streaming to. Yeah. Right now, you know, with the holidays, it's a little wishy-washy. Most of the time, I'm planning to stream once a week on Saturday, maybe the occasional midweek stream, because I like to do some model prep. I need to turn that off. Let's see, do nothing. Okay. I want to do some model prep in between streams to get some of the less sexy stuff done and out of the way. And I might make those like subscriber only streams eventually. It just depends, you know, on what the people want too. Because I want, you know, if anybody is willing to subscribe to my channel and give me money, I definitely want input of what are some things that people would like to see from the channel. Eventually, I talked to Erwin about this. I would like to, all right, I've set up, but have not launched yet, a Patreon where I want to put up the models that I have made so people can download them. There's going to be right now 3 tiers. The first tier is just however I feel like this project is finished, which is going to be a statue, so I'll probably end up engineering and keying parts together, and then those would be downloadable through Patreon, as well as like back catalog models, and then, you know, folks can print. And then I might have another tier above that where I put up my print prep models, so you pay a little extra to have stuff with supports already on it, and it would only be for like a liquid resin printer. I may consider doing a tier for filament print, but I don't think so. And then I think the top tier that I would do is where I would actually print it and clean it up and ship it out to whoever did the top tier. So basically you would be buying the physical piece from me. But again, these are like kind of ideas I'm kicking around. You know, I've seen a couple different ways of this being handled through Patreon. So we'll see. This is all the kind of like pie in the sky stuff of like what might I do in the future, near future. But for right now, I'm just trying to create more art. Like I said, inspire people to create more art, especially if you know, they haven't done it for a while and are interested, and create a little artist community that includes folks from all over the place. But yeah, right now, once a week, every Saturday would be is my main goal. Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate it. The support that I've been getting has been really nice from all kinds of places. Like I was talking about Zach and how he's a mod on for another streamer that I watch, and that's how I met him, and how she kind of inspired me to finally bite the bullet and start doing this. She is just a chatting streamer, so she just hangs out, and she talks about her cat rescue and is very silly and funny. I found her on Instagram years ago, and one of the big things is her cat rescue, which I think is really awesome. She is a nonprofit. Everything that she does goes into funding that, and that just is admirable and inspiring to me. And so it kind of kicked my butt into gear. And now I'm finally doing it. And it's been really, really, really fun to actually get on here and work on some stuff for me and, you know, have people hang out, see where everyone's at on their art projects. Yeah, it's just been a really enjoyable time. All right, I think what I'm going to do now, maybe I'll add the eyebrow. So one of my favorite features in ZBrush, it's called the topology brush, or the retopology brush. And you literally can just kind of draw shapes and quad it out. And turn it into geometry really quickly. There we go. See, now that the campaign is funded, how much left is there for Odious besides the other werewolf heads? A lot of accessories. A lot of accessories are left. We have a few done, but like Wade was saying, if you know, I think most of you guys were on the stream at some point and probably heard, but you know, he only had so much money, and I only had so much time coming up to the campaign. So we got as much done as we could, that both I could do time-wise and he could afford leading up to the campaign. Because he had a lot of other people to pay, so he can't just give me all the money, which I appreciate. That he, you know, is always great at paying on time and working. We work well together, you know, figuring out schedule and that kind of stuff. But yeah, we have a lot of accessories. I think we have, it's for the army figure. We have the accessories for the Ronin. We have the Inuit's done, unless there's another one that he wants for that, but I don't think so. And there might be adjustments to the cowboy, but pretty much all the cowboy's accessories are done. And there might be some other stuff too that he, you know, hasn't told me about yet. So I don't know completely. The funny thing is we talked about the werewolf heads, and I kind of pushed that to say like, hey, you know, let's, or I think he asked about the one, but I wanted to get it out there, even though we had talked about not doing any more until after the campaign, just because obviously it was a good selling point. And the art is great, but sometimes it's hard for people to imagine taking the art, the flat work, into a 3D space. So I thought, you know, at least let's get one done out there for people to see and help push the campaign a little bit more. And then yesterday for me, it was just like, you know, we got to have some interesting stuff to kind of like hype people up and build them up. So I'm like, why don't I just like start working on the next wolf head, get as far as I can. We'll see if it tips the needle, if it spurs people on, if it hypes people up. And, you know, I think it did enough. I don't think it was like a huge driving force, but definitely I think people getting to see it, especially since the first wolf head, you know, maybe 20 people got to see me work on that total, maybe 25. Where this, you know, 150, 200 people got to see that, so that, you know, more people got to be hyped up by it, which is really cool. Let's see. So when you're doing stuff with this particular brush, it adds a lot of creases automatically. So I always uncrease and then just kind of see how it looks. Let's see. I was worried there was so much in the campaign that was just words or art and people wouldn't be. Yeah, no, I was kind of too. The funny thing is like, I do wish that he would have put more of the cool photography in the campaign page. He put it in some of the updates, and clearly he had it all over Instagram. But I think if he does do another campaign in the future, even though he says he doesn't want to, because he's tired, he's an old guy like me, like some of us, I would probably encourage him more to put up that artwork on the actual campaign page, the toy photography of the additional things that he added. Because when people are coming into a campaign, they're not necessarily looking through all the updates. They want to see what they can see first off. And excuse me, if they're not seeing all those shots on the main campaign page, there's a good chance that they're not going to see them at all, which would be unfortunate. It's a selling point. With Nico's awesome paint job, those werewolf heads looked freaking awesome. And it hurts me that there might be some people that didn't see that because they clicked in and didn't, click into the updates. But in the end, how much does it matter? Not a whole lot, since it funded, so we're good. But it's always good to do a little bit of analyzing after the fact. Oh, let's see. I kept telling him to make full shots for the... Yeah. Wade's kind of stubborn, though. It's very funny. So let's see. I asked this. I don't think anybody answered, though. Has anybody seen the show Frieren that this character is based off of? It's an awesome anime. It is on Netflix. At least an English dub is. The second season is coming out very soon. But I don't think it's going to be on Netflix right away. I think it's going to be the Japanese VO. It's looking all right. As you can see, like, it doesn't seem like I have done much in general, because it's all a lot of small movements throughout, but it has gotten so much closer to her look with all these small little movements that I'm pretty happy so far with the progress made tonight. Don't know how I want to handle the nose, because I want to keep the profile, because the profile is nice and it's pretty iconic. A good profile is good. Looks weird here. That's not what her normal profile looks like. Let's see. This is what I'm going off of. Need to adjust that lip. Let's see. No, I haven't. I have a coworker who's recommended it before, but I've just been hesitant to add another show to the queue. Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, I know. There's a lot to watch, but I do also highly recommend the show. If you like D&D stuff and fantasy world, if you like kind of adventuring series, this is a pretty cool spin on that kind of story. And by cool is, it's really in the title, as you can see probably in the channel description for today. The show is called Frieren, The Journey's End, and it's because the series starts, not to get on a little spoiler, they get right into this. It's the name of the show and it starts there. The series starts at the end of basically a D&D campaign. This adventuring party's main quest. They have defeated the bad guy. They're coming to the kingdom to be celebrated, and the whole of the party is two humans. One who's kind of a rogue, maybe a paladin-ish hybrid, a priest, cleric, a dwarf who is a brawler, and Frieren, who is a mage. And she is old. She's probably around 1,000 years old. Comparatively to them, they're in like 20s to 40s. I think the dwarf is older because he also has, dwarves have some age stuff going on. But she is by far the oldest. Hey, Arctic Lich! Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. It's nice to get more followers. Thank you. I am slaying. But yes. So it's really cool because Frieren herself is kind of aloof, nonchalant about life because she's lived such a long life that things don't seem to be as important to her as it is to the rest of these folks because their time is short. And after they kind of go their separate ways, there's a lot of interesting retrospective stuff that happens for Frieren. And it's very cool to see this very aloof character kind of question her whole outlook based on her time with this adventuring party. One of many that she has been with, but for some reason, these fellow adventurers kind of struck a chord. So if that interests you, then yeah, for sure, check it out. It's a pretty cool show, hence why I'm actually doing something from it. Part of the inspiration also, there's another streamer that I like and have joined her little Discord community that is full of amazing people. Nerf Noodle is a big fan of Frieren, and she mentioned it on a stream, and I was still in the early stages of what do I want to do for a project for me. And as soon as she brought that up, that show about how much she likes it, it just reminded me of it. And I was like, Frieren's such a cool looking character. Her design is simple, but man, is it striking. She's got a nice silhouette. Her proportions are very interesting. And we're getting there. Some interesting stuff going on here that I don't necessarily like. So I gotta massage all this stuff to figure out exactly how I'm gonna get rid of some of these interesting little creased areas. Let's see. What about you, Arctic Lich? Have you watched Frieren? Are you familiar? If not, that's okay. Does anybody have any questions on what I'm doing specifically? Or even not specifically, just questions about the software? Let's see. I think I missed it, but yes, eventually this will be a statue. Right now, this is just kind of the static pose, so I haven't really gone into anything yet for her, but she eventually will be a statue. That's for sure. I don't know why that hair tie is not in the right spot, but that's okay. I can show you something cool. So that should have been a mirrored hair tie. Obviously I moved something and it got one in the right place and it shifted the other. So I'm gonna delete the wrong one. And then just quickly mirror it so then I got it where I want it. But yeah, this is eventually going to be a statue. I was debating whether to make it a figure or a statue. I still might do a head, but for now, I've decided just in general that this is going to be a statue. But before I even go that route, I just want to make sure that I have her in a good place, which is pretty close. All the elements really are where I want them right now, except for the face, which I'm, working on tonight. And I have her staff to build as well. Let me see, I'm gonna bring that up. I have to look that up. Let's see, import. I gotta look through my reference. Ah, here it is. She's got a really cool staff. So I'm excited to build this. So yeah, I'll also be doing some prop work for this statue. This is what she works with to do her magic. And I kind of want to do a floating pose of some sort, but that's gonna mean, I have some problems to solve because I got to figure out how to anchor her somehow because she can't literally float. She can if I keep her in the computer, but I want to go through the process of printing this out too. So there's some problem solving I need to figure out, as well as just like aesthetic stuff, design wise. So yeah, let's see. Where are we right now? Ads are gonna start in about a minute and a half. So, hang out, stick around through the ads. I appreciate it. It's 3 minutes of ads, should go pretty fast. I'll probably chat a little bit inside the chat box while the ads are going. But yeah, let's see. Let's see. This a project for your collection? Yes. I don't really collect too many statues. I have some stuff you might be able to see in the background, just things I've acquired, but I'm more of a Transformers collector, honestly. But ad time P-Brick, yeah, that's true. I'm good though, because I'm only going to be on another hour after these ads for sure. But yes, so T minus 35 seconds till the ads. But yeah, I mean, will it be in collection? Yes, I'm kind of building a collection, but the collection is going to be random because I do have a lot of characters that I want to get to, things I want to make, but it's not like a particular line that I'm trying to go for. I'm just trying to work on things that I think are cool that I haven't gotten to work on yet. I have a list. Let me see if I can bring it up on my phone. Hey, 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 and we're back. All right, so some of you might not have heard. I was kind of going through a list of other characters that I want to do eventually. Tank Girl is one. I already have Rebecca that I'm working on, started her years ago. Then I'm probably going to work on. See, how good is the sentence? I'm glad I didn't miss it. Yeah, that's pretty good for sure. Also, I'm a big fan of Iron Mouse. I don't know if you know who she is. She's a VTuber. She is the first VTuber I encountered where I was like, oh, okay, she's pretty cool, and her story is pretty wild and insane, and she is pretty impressive. Are you muted or is it just me? It could be just you, because it looks like my mic is working just fine. Can I be heard? Are we good? All right, I'm assuming that means that Doom can hear me. Yeah. Good. Okay, it's fine now. Right. So yeah. So Iron Mouse, Tank Girl. Want to figure out what to do with Rebecca. I also really like K-pop Demon Hunters. My favorite character in that is Zoe. So there's a Zoe statue that I'd like to do eventually. Also, someone did a suggestion for a Studio Ghibli character, and so I would eventually like to do that as well. I do have a suggestion box on my about section. If you go onto my channel on desktop, that's the only place it's available, unfortunately. So if you're on mobile or anything, you can't get to it. But yeah, if you go onto the main Twitch website to my channel, there is a suggestion box. So if there's like characters that you think would be fun, I don't know when I would get to them, but I am interested in what other people think would be cool as a project. And then I might eventually, when I have an opening, I might throw up a poll with a few of those suggestions to be like, hey, what are we going to do next? Let's do a community choice project. But at least for these first few, as I get my bearings with the channel and the community builds, I kind of want to pick them and then build up those suggestions. But yeah, that's where we're at right now with that. Does anybody have any questions about the software or digital modeling? I know some of you guys, this is kind of your first time encountering this from this perspective where you're watching someone do it. And I've done it in a few different ways. It was a lot more organic with the werewolf heads, where I was kind of just like jumping in and bashing and trying to get that done in a short amount of time. Where this, I'm being a little bit more meticulous because I'm going to be posing her around and I want the mesh to be really clean, so that way I don't have to do a bunch of resculpting once I get her going. But I am, like I said earlier, I am happy with how she's progressing for sure. Just trying to figure out some of these little anomalies because I want to get that nice, smooth, clean look on her face, that you would see in any anime. But yeah, any questions, I'd appreciate it. I would love to hear things that you guys want to know, your thoughts, even thoughts on the Odious campaign. I know that's something that you guys are all very intimately knowledgeable about. Seems like you all went quiet. Is everyone just chilling? Or did something happen with chat? There we go. What Odious campaign? What is an Odious? What odious campaign exactly? There is no odious campaign right now because it's done. It's over. It's complete. It's finished. We're happy. I got a random question. Um, what are your top animes? Oh, that's a good one. It's also a really tough one. Um, one of my all-time favorites is going to be the first one I ever watched, which was Death Note. Um, I like Death Note because it was just like an interesting concept. The designs are crazy, and it does have a nice arc finish. Like it does complete itself. It doesn't last too long. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It came close, but did not do that. So I really like Death Note. If you haven't seen that, highly recommend it. I don't really know what it's on right now. Like obviously it's going to be on Crunchyroll or something like that, but I don't know if there's any other streaming services. It's probably on Netflix. I think it was at one point, but Netflix, you know how they are. They always drop stuff frequently. So yeah, it might not be on Netflix anymore if it was. And let's see, other animes other than that. Watching One Piece with the kid right now. That's been fun. Hey, Josh just noticed Plassy's here. So yeah, One Piece is a lot of fun. Not very far into it though, so you know, still got a lot to watch. An interesting one that I started that I need to keep going on, but I was watching it with a friend and we've kind of like gotten into a lull. It's called My Happy Marriage. It's another one. Most of the stuff I watch is on Netflix. So if you hear it, it's on Netflix. My Happy Marriage is a very interesting series. And then what I've discovered is my favorite anime category is kind of slice of life anime, where it's more like high school, I wouldn't say drama. Sometimes they're dramatic, most of the time they're funny, but there's some really cute stories out there. And yeah, for whatever reason, I just really dig those little kind of like high school, sometimes romance, sometimes friendship building shows. One of my favorites of those is a series called Comey Can't Communicate. And it is about a young woman who is incredibly beautiful, so everyone just adores her. But she is basically stricken with like really bad social anxiety. So she has no friends, even though she's the most popular person in the school, because everyone really enjoys her and thinks that she's pretty, and they misinterpret a lot of her reactions and don't really realize that they don't really talk to her, so she doesn't know anybody. And there's one guy that she kind of decides to open up to, and he's very sweet and basically says, you know, by the end of school, I'm going to make sure you have friends. I'm going to find people to introduce you to, and it's a really sweet tale, and it's a few seasons. I think it ended, but there might be another season that comes out eventually. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with anime right now. So I don't know if that helped you or if you heard anything that's interesting that you might want to watch, but yeah, that is kind of my anime aesthetic. Oh, also Dandadan. Great series. Really fun, really quirky. Aliens and ghosts. Also on Netflix. But a lot of fun. Oh man, it's really, really funny. So I don't know if you guys... I know some of you guys stream. I don't know who uses what. I use Streamlabs as my streaming app. And right now it says like, oh, I have 4 viewers. And so I was like, okay, let's see who's hanging around. I don't want to talk to anybody that's not here. But it's showing me 5 people still here. So I don't know why. Maybe Plasty's stuff's messing up again, and it's not registering him. But yeah, it's very interesting. Kind of like I was having trouble with Wade's streaming software last night. Luckily, I was able to kind of like figure it out and not have any issues and hang out successfully. But it was looking hairy for a bit. Let's see. Is there a reason you watch your stuff on Netflix and not Crunchyroll? I don't want to pay for Crunchyroll. The whole family uses Netflix, and it's just really easy for me to search for stuff there. And I don't, there's a lot more content other than anime that I want to watch. And since Crunchyroll is so anime focused, I just won't get the bang for the buck because there's other things that I want to watch too, and I don't want to have another service that I neglect. So that's kind of the same thing with Shudder. I'm a big horror movie fan, and there's a lot of cool stuff on Shudder that I would love to watch, but I would be the only one watching it. And so again, I don't want to spend money on another streaming service. But I know Crunchyroll's cool, and I know a lot of people that have it, and I'm happy for them. How do you guys feel about the progress so far on her face tonight? I'm curious because I sometimes it takes me a while to see, but I'm so far tonight pretty happy. But comparatively, since a lot of you guys saw how the wolf head came along, just curious your thoughts on like the difference between me running through some werewolf head sculpts, but then being a little bit more meticulous with this elven lass. One of the things that's kind of interesting, there's a lot of like stuff happening in this area that I'm not a big fan of, but it's because it's in this low poly state, and I'm just looking at a preview when it's rounding it off. But a lot of that's going to be kind of fixed once I do the actual subdividing of the geometry, and things that don't get fixed in the subdivision, that's when I'll kind of like sculpt those areas out and use a few different tools to get rid of weird little creases or bumps or lumps. But I try to do as much of that as possible in this low level state, so I have less work to do moving forward once I get past this section. But yeah, what are your thoughts, again, I'll repeat, on, the speed difference, seeing me kind of work at a slower pace with this head versus the werewolves, which I will be slowing down on the werewolves as I get into the fur textures and stuff. And I did start this project rather fast when I roughed in the body. Similar to how I did with the werewolf. I just brought in a lot of shapes and quickly blocked things in. And now I get to focus on the details, but she doesn't have a lot of small details like fur and stuff. So her small details are just all these little plane changes and all that kind of stuff. Y'all were so chatty, now you're so quiet. It's making me nervous. I'm not sure if it's because you're, mesmerized, or if something's messing up on the stream. Or if you're busy, however it is, it's okay. But at least somebody like sound off every once in a while, so I know, I know you're all still there. I know you're watching. It says that you're watching, but I don't know if it's if something happened with the chat, or if y'all just chilling, having a good time. Let's see. Oh, I'm watching your phone. Watch TV. No, yep, I do that. I watch streams sometimes while we're watching stuff together as well. So I totally understand that, Josh. 100%. And that's good. That's fine. As long as I, like, every once in a while you guys chime in when it gets really quiet. Just so I know that chat's still working for you and that you're still around. That's all I ask for. It's nice when you guys are engaging, but if you need to take some time, if you're just like chilling and just having a good time watching, that's cool too. Let's see. I'm posing a figure and munching on snacks while listening. My wife has the TV. Nice. What figure are you posing? Is it odious? I hope it's odious. If it's not, why even? What's the point, you know? I'm just playing. But we all know how amazing it is to pose the odious figure. That's kind of the funny thing. I've not talked about this much, but I'm not a huge action figure guy. I know, blasphemy. How did I get into this work? I love action figures. You know, had them since I was a kid. Love playing with them. But I kind of fell into this work, which I'm not mad about, because one, it's afforded me a lot of cool opportunities. Two, I've gotten to work on a lot of IPs that I really enjoy that I never thought I'd get to work on in one way or another. And three, I've definitely gotten to appreciate toys more. I've always been a Transformers collector, and I've always needed like a puzzle element. I like to fidget a lot. I have plenty of fidgets, things that just like keep me going. And Transformers kind of scratch that itch because they have that posability, but also they're a puzzle box in themselves with a transforming element. I know some people are weird, like Adam and Wade, where they want their Transformers that don't transform. And then I tell you, what's the point? They're Transformers. But yeah, I kind of just fell into this work. Posing Marvel Gummy Legs Legend Dark Avenger Spider-Man. Got it about a week ago and ignored it because the odious campaign. Hey, fair enough. There are a lot of things that we ignored because of the odious campaign, because that took precedence and it's important. And now we get to get back to our grind. We all get to get back into our own things and just be happy and patient now as we wait. I get to wait to see what my next marching orders are. Probably the first is probably going to finish this werewolf head. But I might hold off, not rush into finishing it, depending on, you know, what things are up and what our scheduling plan will be as far as getting things in and when he wants them. Because there might be some stuff for other parts of the figures that we need to adjust prior to sending stuff to the factory. But yeah, we all were very focused on Odious. And now we just get to bask in the glory. Let's see. I think I want to kind of block in the eyelash. Which should be kind of fun. And then I might get into the ear. Probably going to be on for another... Let's see, how long have we been on? Probably another half hour or so. So thanks for sticking around, all of you guys that have been here. I appreciate it. In the future, if you're going to come back around, you know, share, bring friends. Let's see if we can start our own little community. We can all be working on our own stuff in the background. That's what I really like. So like, I'm glad that Doom is just chilling and watching a little bit and working on his posing. That's the kind of stuff that I am looking forward to. Because I also want to hear about what you guys are working on. What are you working on, Erwin? Are you still in there? Are you drawing right now? Is there anything that you're currently working on that you're enjoying? Let's see, Josh, can't wait to see your work on something for me on here. Yeah, exactly. We have to talk a little bit more and figure that out. What I'll probably do is I might figure out how to schedule that kind of stuff in, because I won't want to lose too much momentum on like the main projects that I'm working on for the channel, but clearly there's other stuff that I'm working on that people would want to see. Like I've already talked to Wade about doing Odious stuff on stream, because people will want to see that and it'll be fun. But you know, I don't want to pause a project and just work on something else while I'm in the middle of one thing. So I might do like maybe a once a month thing, or maybe midweek streams where I start a project, or I already start something and I kind of like work through the end phase on stream, but then, you know, finish it off stream. So that way it's not slowed down by my streaming schedule. But yeah, that's kind of my idea as far as that. Like I definitely like, if there's things that you know want me to work on, you want me to do on stream, all about that. Let's see. Yeah, see. I'm in no rush, holiday break and all. Yeah. So speaking of, there's several things throughout the holiday that are going to throw off this schedule. I've only been streaming for a month, maybe like a little over a month at this point. This is my 5th stream, I think, maybe 6th, because I did kind of a midweek stream. But yeah, next week, Saturday does not work because I have a holiday event. I might stream early the following week or on Sunday to make up for it. I'm not sure, depends how I feel. But I might just take, again, the weekend off. And then obviously with the holiday coming, I'll probably stream the following weekend and then not the next weekend with the holiday and stuff. Might go dark for a couple of weeks because we got holidays, and then hit it hard once the new year sets in and work on keeping a more consistent schedule, because consistency is key. Wade is right, and I want to do that. But you know, during the holidays, starting during the holidays is a weird time. Starting during the campaign, also weird, but it was very beneficial to the start of all of this. So I can't complain too much. But yeah. But ultimately, I hope that people, you know, enjoy watching what I do, enjoy hearing what I have to say. And like I said, that folks are inspired to do their own thing. I really like that. I want people to get their stuff going. Let's see. I was really sad that Arctic Lich didn't hang out too long. Hey, Ghostmate, thank you for coming in. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, here, let me, since you just popped in, let me give you a full look of where she's at right now. Just been working on the head tonight. That's a little blasted out. Let's get back to there. But yeah, just working on the head tonight. Chat is full of people that are in the action figure community. Yay! So what they had been seeing, and I posted some of it on my Instagram, so you probably saw, but the two big things that have been taking up my time lately are this, and then what was it? Basically, last night for the Kickstarter, the creator did a 20-hour stream, and I jumped on last night and started working on this second head right here and got it to this point this morning because I took basically a nap and came back on and chatted with folks as we got to the end of the campaign, and it came over the finish line, and kept sculpting while I was doing that. Just getting more practice and stuff. Yay, I'm glad you like them. Yeah, they're really cool. The designs are based off of an illustrator named Bobo. Variati is his Instagram. Let's see if I can pull up the art. Here, this is the art that this new head is based off of. So still need to do some tweaks on it to try to get it closer to the reference. But right now, the creator seems to be pretty happy with it. The creator of the Odious figure. So I'm probably not going to do too much, but there's also a lot up to interpretation. So I think I have the gist of the feeling going on here. But yeah, so that's been kind of what I've been doing the past couple of days. And now I'm really happy to get back onto Frieren because I love this character, and I don't know if you have watched the show. I don't remember if we talked about that or not, but if you haven't, I recommend it. Let's see. That looks pretty dang close to mine. Thank you very much. Yes, I appreciate that. How are you doing? I know you've had a lot of school stuff going on, and the holidays are very quickly approaching, which means that it affects all the things that we're doing. I do miss seeing you stream, so I'm excited for things to calm down for you and you eventually hop back on. For all you folks, Ghostmaid is also a streamer. She streams video games. She also does some art streams. I was watching her paint during the early days, right before I was like, hey, I think I'm going to start streaming. And now here we are. I'm just over a month in, and she's in my chat now, which is really cool and surreal and nice because, again, I've been talking about people that have supported and inspired, and definitely Ghost, you are one that did that for me. So thanks for being here and sticking around for a bit. Zach was in here earlier, which was really cool. Setback Zach. So it's been nice to have you guys pop through. Let's see, you're good. Thanks for the encouragement. You miss streaming, and you definitely should. I've enjoyed your streams, and I know you're busy right now, and I know your kitty chewed your camcord. So I hope that's the only thing holding you back once you finally get back around to it. I will definitely be there to continue to watch you play all the fun games, especially the ones that I need to play vicariously through you, because I don't have enough time to play video games right now. Too much to do. Well, that's good. That's good. I apologize if you hear some screaming in the background. Hopefully you don't. My kiddo is. We had a great day. We went and saw a movie, but he is behind in homework because he broke his wrist at the beginning of November, and now he got it off, his brace off about a week ago, and playing catch up is not fun, especially for a boy on the spectrum. But he's doing his best, but still it's frustrating. So back onto Frieren. I've just been working on the face tonight, kind of getting the eyes in, trying to figure out how I want to handle them, and I think I do want to keep the eyeballs. I was thinking about doing kind of like a traditional anime statue, kind of like flat indentation, just a slight indication of the eye, but I am liking how this is looking so far, so I'm going to roll with it. And I could always bring it back to that flat look, but I'm probably going to stick with this. So I'm going to go back to my favorite brush, or one of my favorites, the retopology brush, and I'm going to do that eyelash that I wanted to do earlier, finally. And I'm going to kind of eyeball it. But I really like this brush because it just allows you to create unique shapes just on the fly. So I'm just going to kind of outline. I don't need to be too exact to start, because it's basically where the cross sections kind of come into play that really affects anything. So once I start doing these, well, I'm supposed to start doing those, usually there's like an orange that comes through to show me that quads are being made, but it's being weird. So actually, I'm going to redo this real quick. I'm going to undo, and I'm going to do it with the lower level geometry. I think that's going to be the better bet. Because sometimes when you have the preview on, the lines don't intersect right when it does the smooth preview. So I'm turning that off just to see if it gets a better result. Gonna give her a nice wing. There we go. So now you can kind of see those orange squares show up, and that is the indication that this is going exactly where I want it to go. Let's see. So how is your winter going? Is it going to be a good break for you? Oh. Where did Streamlabs go? Oh, it disappeared for me. Is it gonna be chill for you? I know you were saying that you were caught up, Ghost, but it's still tough out there, I know, for a student. And I hope that trend of being caught up is still working in your favor, for sure. Also in the chat, like I was saying, there's a bunch of folks from the action figure community that I've met through all this crazy campaign stuff with this action figure, and it's been really nice to be part of this community. I appreciate the encouragement and all the people that I've met, and yeah, it's just been really awesome. See, it'll be chill, school will be fine. Work will not be... But all right. Yep, that's the attitude. Just get through it. Just keep swimming. For sure. All right, so some of this worked, some of it didn't. That's okay, because I can redo some stuff. And like I said, it doesn't really matter. Let's see, hang on. Large majority of the figure community are awesome peeps. I agree. So I'll continue saying what I was saying a second ago, and then I'll get into that, which is I have some interesting thoughts on just being a sculptor in the action figure community. It has been very interesting, a different perspective for me, because that's how I got into it versus most people get into it the other way around. So, what was I saying? Yeah, just keep swimming. I hope the work stuff isn't too crazy, and that during the holidays it kind of lightens up for you, even though that's not when it lightens up usually. But yeah, I wish you the best, for sure, Ghost. Like I said, you've always been very kind and supportive, and I appreciate any chance I get to talk with you about anything, just random stuff or streaming stuff. So thank you very much for being here and just, being a cool new internet friendo. I appreciate that a lot. You mean a rock star? That's very nice. So the action figure community, I started working on action figures around the same time as, well, not the same time, but let's say close to when Wade started his channel. So I was still green when he was green, which is kind of fun for the both of us. And some of my early figures did not get the greatest feedback from the community of action figure lovers. And I don't blame that on the action figure community. I think part of it was the fandoms that they were part of. And I don't want to get into those specifics. Even though I know you guys probably want the dirt, but I'm not going to go there. But it was a little discouraging at the start. Which, that kind of sucks for anyone. But I was happy with my work in general, and my studio was happy with my work, so I wasn't too worried. But it's a hard start when one of the first things that you put out there that you love starts getting really nitpicked for weird reasons. And then one of my favorite figures I got to work on was the Rocketeer, the Funko Rocketeer. And that was the first figure that I did that Wade reviewed. And that is technically how we met, where he reviewed it. It was a really nice and kind review. He had his qualms, and mostly it was glowing, and most of the things that he had issue with are the same things that I kind of had issue with. And I just reached out, I think in the comments, maybe it was more directly, but it was mainly the comments, and I was just like, thanks, I appreciate your review. Have a great day. And kind of alluded to that it was that I worked on the figure, but like I said earlier, I don't like to be perceived, so I didn't it wasn't crazy, hey, look at me, I did that, cool. Just kind of alluded to it, and he reached out, and he was really cool, as you guys know, and yeah, that's kind of where our friendship started. He reviewed a figure I worked on. I said I appreciated his review, and now he and I have made 5 figures, or are going to make, because they're not done yet, but we've made the prototypes at least for 5 action figures of something that he's very passionate about. And through that, I've gotten to work with really cool people and meet a lot of really cool people in the action figure community. And so that's the figure life. And then the streaming world that has become a big part of my life over the past couple months is crazy. Ghost, I was telling them a little bit about Slee earlier, how I kind of followed her onto Twitch from Instagram, and the cat rescue and her silliness and funniness is kind of what had always hooked me. And she inspired me to stream something that I had already wanted to do, but just like being there was, and seeing her stream and getting to meet Zach, and then of course getting to meet you, just like was really encouraging. And everyone I've met kind of through her has been really awesome and nice. So it's, all the other streamers that I've kind of connected with since, late October, early November, have just been really, really cool and inspiring, and gotten me to finally do something like this, which I did not necessarily expect to happen. But it was this perfect storm of these two worlds of kind of watching folks on Twitch and being part of this action figure community all blended together at the same time to now getting to do this. So I appreciate all of you that are here. New friends that I'm making. Internet friends are great friends, so I appreciate it. And yeah, so I think I need to move on a little bit. Yep, there she is. Oh, yep. That's my favorite emoji. One of them. I'm not even sure if I can use it anymore because somebody had gifted me a sub and I think it just ran out, so I'm not even sure I can use that right now. But and then that's another thing, the fact that I am one of her mods on Discord is kind of crazy as well. So weird whirlwind of a time these past couple months. Let's see. Hinkin, and you said a bunch of stuff. Let's see. He was really good about not putting you in the spotlight until you want. Yeah, no, like I really appreciated that a lot. Like it was funny too because he was like, "Oh, okay." He thought it was a little weird, but he respected it and was cool. And then I was worried when I was finally kind of ready for it that he'd be like, "What are you talking about, man?" But he immediately was like, "Oh, you ready? Sure, okay, whatever." And he, slowly integrated me, and that has been nice. Let's see. I remember him saying a guy who sculpted all sorts of stuff was helping him. Yep, that was me. I'm the guy who has sculpted all sorts of stuff. And now I'm a guy who has sculpted all sorts of odious stuff, so that it's been really cool. Let's see, so with the eye, I'm going to do a couple different things here with the eyelash. So I'm going to keep this main shape here, but those little flyaways, I'm going to have those be separate pieces. So I'm going to commit to this shape here. So now I kind of have that. And eventually I will shape it to match the eye that's in the reference. But for now, I'm just going to kind of eyeball it just because stream is coming close to an end. I'll probably stay on for a few more minutes. I think I'll get this kind of where I want it. Finish off the eyelash to kind of start to match what's happening here. Funny, I know. Sometimes I have jokes. They're dad jokes. Eyeball it. You get it. But yeah, this, like I said, this past month has been a lot of things. The beginning of streaming, getting to work on my own projects and have my own control, getting to know a lot of people, being part of the streaming community as a streamer and a viewer, getting to know streamers very quickly and kindly. I did not expect that. Not that I expected people to be, gatekeepy or anything, but I didn't really have an intention coming in. I kind of just was like, oh, you know what? I'm finally going to do this. And all the people I kind of talked to about it were like, that's great. You should. And when I finally said like, hey, I'm doing it, they all said, cool. and have tried to support me in one way or another, like the incredible Ghost Maid who is popping in tonight. Um, it is just really nice and really encouraging, and I like to support those people as well because I think mutual support, sticking together, is a good thing. Yeah. So yeah, let's see. So that's kind of a good shape right there. And then I want to do one last little bit. Well, actually, let me do this. Let me split these eyelashes. Unmasked. There we go. I'm going to color them. Let's see, fill object. Let's do something like dark. Color, fill. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Fill, get them black. And then I'll do some clay tubes. Let's see, Hankin. Can't have community without you and I. That's right. That's true. See, I'm taking off. Gotta go get some sleep. Yeah, I know you're further west than us. Well, than me. I know some folks are all over the place. Hankin, down under, right? Am I wrong? Hope you have a great rest of your stream. Thank you very much. I appreciate you being here and the encouragement, and we will continue to chat soon, I'm sure. Have a good night, Ghost. Take care. Let's see. Right now we're at about 2 hours, so I think it says more ads will start in just about under 10 minutes, and I'm not going to let that happen. I think we're going to wrap up. So here, let's look at how we look right now. We'll get back to this, and yeah, you know, I didn't get to the ears. I didn't get maybe as far as I wanted to, but I am not mad at the progress tonight. Don't stop until after that. You want me to? Okay. I will continue on Hankin's request to run one more ad break. In fact, I could run it right now. I'll do it. I'll do an ad break right now, and then we'll do kind of a wrap up chat for everyone that's still here. So ads are starting right now. Doobie-doo. Well, if that's the case, can you hear me right now, Hankin? If ads are done for you, maybe they're done for other people. Even though it says for me, they're running for another minute and a half. But if you can hear me, I'll chat with you for sure. You can hear me? Okay, cool. And maybe other folks can hear me through the ads. I don't know. But yeah, so this is where we're going to stop tonight with Frieren. Adding it up for me. Okay. Like I said, it's just telling me how long the ads are. I don't control what they're going to show, but if they're going to show shorter ads, that's awesome. It's supposed to be 3 minutes, so hopefully they don't short me. And if they do, that's okay. I mean, again, this is my first stream running ads, so it is what it is. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. Yeah, I hope they don't too, but I don't think it's going to be a ton of money anyway, so I'm not too worried about it, but we'll see. It'll be interesting to see what that first deposit is after, like, the next bit of streams. See, it was like 5 seconds, 7-Eleven ad. Yeah, it is funny because, like, I have been in streams where the ads have run nearly a full 3 minutes. And then I've been in ones where, like, it's a banner ad, or like where the person is still up top and I can see the ad and I can still hear them, and it's very interesting. I don't understand what makes what, but yeah. But it looks like the ads are done. So yeah, this is where I'm stopping tonight. I think she's looking pretty good. She's definitely looking better than she did at the start. You had some banners. All right, yeah. I mean, it's interesting. Maybe maybe it's a combination of the banners and whatnot. So I definitely will have to. Well, that's the thing. It's like I can't even look back at the VOD to see what the ads are because it's not going to have the ads in there. But yeah, I'm definitely curious to hear all the different feedback. But this is where I'm going to stop tonight. I'm pleased with the progress, even though I'd like to be further along. I'll probably work a little bit more during the week to get some of this stuff further and nail it down. And then the next stream, which will be either next Sunday or the following Saturday, I'll start working on her staff, which I'm really excited about because I just like it. And that should go pretty quick because there's a lot of simple shapes and a lot of blocking in. So yeah, let's see. Thank you so much, Josh. I appreciate it. Here, let me pop back in where it's full me. Hopefully I'm not too red. I need to, yeah, with the stress, my skin has been very flaky and inflamed lately, so if I look super gross, I apologize. I need to get some rest. I need to help my wife with the kiddo and get him into bed, and I need to take a break from all the streaming that has happened the past 2 days, even though it's basically a 24-hour period, because I jumped on last night around 10:30 on Wade's stream and got off at around I think it was 3:30, and then popped back on around 7:30 and hung out until 10:30 again until it got funded. But yeah, let's see. Thanks for the stream, Kev. Awesome to hang out. Yeah, it's really awesome to hang out with you guys and get some one-on-one time with y'all outside of someone else's stream. I'm glad that you get to know me a little bit more, and it's nice to get to know you guys more. So yeah, I appreciate it. It's got to be cool to do something for a living that you also want to do. Yeah, it is. I feel incredibly lucky to be in the position that I'm in and to have the support from my family to be able to do this. I know it's probably frustrating to add this new kind of thing into our lives, but I'm lucky that I have an awesome wife who is just really sticking by me through this and allowing me to explore it. Let's see. And yo, that's a dope flannel. Oh, are you talking about my shirt? Yeah, it's just a button up. I like it. Yeah, thanks, Miss KGart. Yeah. But yeah, with that, I am tired. I'm sure some of you guys are tired. I know you took a nap, Hankin, but you probably got to still be exhausted too, because weren't you watching the entire 20 hours? That's insane. That's to stick it with it the same as Wade. I know he was delirious, so I'm sure you are a bit too. So thank you for sticking around, for everybody that came through tonight. I really appreciate your energy and the I don't know. I don't have words anymore. I appreciate you guys being here. It's late for me, late for some of you. We're all in different time zones. So you guys get some rest. I'm going to get some rest. And yeah, thank you so much. Peace.